Welcome into the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Harrison Graham, and we are still live in Los Angeles as myself, producer Jack, and our bosses, Brett and James, heading to the national championship game here in a couple of hours. But we got some rumors to hit on the Kansas City Chiefs first. It is NFL Black Monday. Some coaches getting fired. Cliff Kingsbury out as well as Lovie Smith, which came down last night. So that, of course, leads the speculation. Will Eric Bieniemy get a head coaching job? He has certainly been in the mix before. The last several years he has been an NFL head coaching candidate, but for whatever reason, not a good interviewer, not getting good recs, who knows, he has not been able to land a head coaching job. But maybe, just maybe, this is the year for Eric Bieniemy. The open jobs right now are the Arizona Cardinals, the Carolina Panthers, the Denver Broncos, the Houston Texans, and the Indianapolis Colts. At least obviously in Indianapolis and Carolina's case, they each have interim coaches that finish the year. Steve Wilkes in Carolina, and of course our good pal Jeff Saturday in Indianapolis. Now, Arrowhead Live had an interesting point that they believe that Bieniemy could be a potential good fit for the Cardinals, but can his personality mesh with Kyler Murray's? Obviously, Kyler Murray has a very polarizing personality, doesn't seem to get along with everybody, and Eric Bieniemy, we don't know how well he connects with players. As we've heard a lot of rumors in the past, LaShawn McCoy's called him out before as not being a guy that players respect. I think the two teams out of the open jobs right now that probably make the most sense: Arizona Cardinals, young talented quarterback in Kyler Murray that probably needs some reining in, and the Houston Texans, who Bieniemy's interviewed with them before, and obviously they're going to have the number 2 pick, potentially drafting a quarterback like a Bryce Young or a CJ Stroud that he could work with, just like he has worked alongside Patrick Mahomes for the last several years. So we'll see what happens, but Eric Bieniemy figures to be in the mix again. We'll see if this is the year for him. Will Eric Bieniemy get a head coaching job this offseason? What do you guys think? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Is 2023 the year for Eric Bieniemy? Time will tell. Let us know what you guys think. Andy Reid provided an injury update for Frank Clark as Frank Clark suffered a groin injury in Saturday's win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Reid had this to say when it comes to Clark. He said, should be able to return after a little bit of rest. And I do think it's one of those scenarios where if the Chiefs did not have a first-round bye in the wild card round, it would probably be a little bit dicey if Clark could play this weekend. But I think with the extra week off, pretty good chance he'll be able to play in the divisional round. More thoughts on Clark and this defensive line really come together coming up in just a moment. But are you wasting money on subscriptions that you don't even use? Chances are that you probably are. You may not even know how much your subscriptions really cost, because most Americans think they spend around $80 per month on subscriptions when the actual cost is closer to over $200. Well, Rocket Money is going to help you save money every single month because this app shows you all of your subscriptions on one screen in one place, and then cancels for you whatever you don't still want. Rocket Money, formerly known as Truebill, will even be able to find subscriptions you didn't know that you were paying for. You may even find out that you've been double charged for a subscription. To cancel a subscription, all you have to do is press cancel, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. So get rid of useless subscriptions with Rocket Money now. Go to rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat. That is rocketmoney.com/ChiefsChat. That link will be in the description of this video. Again, you'll see all of your subscriptions on one screen, and then you keep whichever ones you want, cancel whichever ones you want, and they will take care of everything. All right, back to Frank Clark here, who missed a couple games with that suspension. 5 sacks on the year, 8 tackles for loss, 39 overall tackles, and Frank Clark has been a part of a defensive line that has really come together during the second half of the season. I mean, obviously, Chris Jones makes everything go. His 15.5 sacks this year, just a tremendous season. Kalen Saunders has been a really nice player this year, finally kind of having that breakout as a former, third-round pick a few years ago. George Karlaftis, the rookie, has come on. He's up to 6.5 sacks. Carlos Dunlap, Michael Dana rotating in there. Brandon Williams Rams, you've got guys on this defensive line that can get after the quarterback, and it's really improved. I mean, earlier in the year, I was a little bit concerned about this group, and in the offseason, I definitely was, but this front four is probably the strength of Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Obviously, the linebackers are pretty good as well with Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, but this front, led by Chris Jones, Clark, and these other guys, has been really, really solid, especially down the stretch of the season. Now, here's the deal. The playoffs are here, which means the Chiefs Report is only going to heat up. We're going to continue to bring you guys daily videos, and if you want full coverage of the Chiefs playoff run, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. We'll bring you videos every single day. Here on the Chiefs Report, injury updates, we'll have a preview for the divisional round as well, and on tomorrow's show, which we already recorded, it'll go out tomorrow, I analyze every single potential opponent the Chiefs could face in the divisional round, and we'll take a look at who they best match up with. So be on the lookout for that as well. It's youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Speaking of the playoffs, let's talk a little about the playoffs here as things got settled on Sunday. The Chiefs did get that number 1 seed with a win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Buffalo did win, which means, of course, that would be a neutral site AFC Championship game if we get there. Cincinnati, the 3 seed. Jacksonville, the 4 seed. The Chargers are the 5 seed. Baltimore and Miami rounding out the wild card teams. And then you see the matchups right there. Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Ravens, and Jags, Chargers. I mentioned neutral site game if the Chiefs and the Bills both advance it to the AFC Championship game. Of course, if one of those two teams does not, then that the other team that is there would be able to host because they would be the highest seed remaining. Do want to look at the NFC playoff picture as well, as Philadelphia was able to get a win over the Giants with Jalen Hurts coming back and playing. They're the number 1 seed. They have a first-round bye. The 49ers get the 2 seed, Minnesota the 3. Bucks are the 4 seed. They will host the 5th seeded Dallas Cowboys on Monday Night Football in the divisional round. The Giants are the 6th seed, and then the Seattle Seahawks are the 7th seed. 49ers, Seahawks, Vikings, Giants, Bucks, Cowboys, the 3 matchups in the NFC. I personally think that the NFC wildcard games are more appealing. I think Bucks Cowboys has a chance to be a good game. I think the Giants are going to be able to hang with Minnesota. I don't think Seattle has much of a chance against the 49ers, but outside of Chargers, Jags in the AFC, which small fan bases obviously, I don't think Bengals Ravens is going to be close. If Lamar plays, maybe that changes, but I'm not convinced he will. And then who's going to play at quarterback for Miami? Is Tua going to get out of concussion protocol? I guess it's possible, but if he doesn't, I don't see them faring well with Buffalo on the road whatsoever. Now, which wildcard game are you most interested in? Which game are you going to keep an eye on this week? And I think obviously for the Chiefs, that Jags-Chargers game is the one to watch because really good chance the winner of that game is who the Chiefs will play in the divisional round. But Bucks-Cowboys should be a fun one as well. So should be a fun wildcard weekend and stress-free one for the Chiefs as they get to sit at home. Patrick Mahomes also will be sitting at home this week getting ready for the divisional round. And is he an MVP lock? I think he is. Most sports books, not all, but most have taken down the opportunity to go bet on the MVP winner because he's such a heavy favorite. And it's kind of free money if you were to go bet on Mahomes. So if your sports book still has MVP odds up, go throw money on Mahomes, even though the odds are very severely in his favor. And he completed this season 67.1% completion percentage, 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 picks, 4 rushing scores. Really finished strong to help Kansas City secure that number 1 seed in the AFC. And I just think, once Hurts got banged up and, I just think Josh Allen, Joe Burrow didn't quite do enough to sneak back up there and win it. It's over. Mahomes is the MVP for this season. He will be taking home the award for the 2nd straight time. Of course, we won't know that for a few weeks, but I firmly believe that Patrick Mahomes will be the MVP winner once again here in the 2022 season. But he, of course, is more focused on bigger and better things. I also wanted to show this as well. This is kind of an interesting nugget. So Patrick Mahomes is the oldest quarterback in the AFC this year, starting quarterback. Really interesting, right? He's only 27. Here's what he had to say about that. He said, I'm kind of an old soul. I'll be an old head in the AFC for a little while, so I'm ready to use that to my advantage, which I find very, very interesting. again, pretty wild. I mean, Mahomes is only 27. It's not like he's, 30, 32 years old and you got all these young bucks. He's 27 and he's the oldest quarterback, starting quarterback remaining in the AFC. So he's got that experience, obviously has won a Super Bowl, has an MVP, and like you said, he's going to use that to his advantage in this playoff run and down the stretch of his career. Now, how many MVPs do you think Patrick Mahomes will win once his career is said and done? And you can answer assuming that he already has two, assuming he is going to get this one, and I think that's pretty safe to say at this point in time. I'll say 4 or 5. I mean, he's going to win a couple more at least. He's only 27, so let me know what you guys think. How many MVPs will Patrick Mahomes have when it's all said and done? We do have some news. The Chiefs have signed Ty Freifogel. Now, producer Jack is throwing this on the screen as we film this on the fly, so we'll see what this ends up meaning. I have seen that they have worked out or are going to work out some other guys, because you have to remember too, in the NFL you can start signing guys to those reserve future contracts as the 90-man roster will take place in the offseason. So we'll see what this signing means for this team. I saw Slade Bolden was going to work out as well, former Alabama receiver and return specialist. So keep an eye on those minor news and roster acquisitions, and we will keep you guys up to date with everything that happens, which is why you should subscribe to the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. We will continue to bring you the latest here on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Harrison Graham. We are off to the national championship game. Should be a lot of fun tonight, TCU and Georgia. We'll see you guys tomorrow with another video.